Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Uh-huh. Want some candy?
I have very small hands, and I can't, adjust it without hanging up.
Good for Christian.
I bet you my hands are smaller.
Makes everybody's dick looks huge.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's how we started. What's up, you fabulous bitches? Welcome back to another episode of Monster Candy Podcast with your horror punks with the junk in their trunks.
Yes.
Oobly Sparks from Tsunami Bomb.
Hi.
Gucci T from the Jukebox Romantics, and myself, Screamin' E from the Memphis Murdermen. And tonight we're back to talk about the 2025. I don't even know how to describe this film, but it's a film nonetheless. Mark Anthony Green's Opus.
The Mark Anthony.
The Mark Anthony. But yeah, what's up, people? We're ready to party.
What's going on? It feels so weird to not do this sitting next to you on a couch.
I know.
Feels-
With
You
hands on.
got comfortable that quick?
You know, we did get pretty comfortable quick, but you know what? Now I need to drive up to you, and we need to do a New York, New York one.
Yeah, we're not that far away.
No.
And then third time's a charm, where we all
I can look up at a star right now, and I think we'll look at the same one.
You know what's funny?
It's like Five Will Goes West.
because of the venues I work at, we probably could do like a live on stage one of these things and have an audience.
Mhm.
Like, who the fuck are these people?
Dude, that's every live podcast.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about some horror news.
This is
Our nose.
Brought to you by Time Bomb Toys, located at 300 Camp Horn Road in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out in person or online at timebombtoys.com and get their special Thursday deal, free Handy J's with purchase over $30. Not from them, from the spa next door, which I actually talked to Bob. I was like, dude, what's up with that? And he was like, oh yeah, dude's like rolling in like sweatpants. Like,
Oh, wait, so there really is a handsy spa?
apparently,
I go to the massage parlor and
Did we manifest this?
I don't know. I told him.
Wait.
I said,
people get dressed up for the massage parlor. I'm going to
Yeah,
get a
you're
massage.
supposed to go in sweatpants.
yeah, but it's like, unsavory looking characters in sweatpants.
All right, fair enough.
mean, I look pretty unsavory in sweatpants. I think most people do.
Oops.
not if you got tapered ankles.
You look as savory as the day is long in sweatpants.
Oh, thanks.
yeah.
You say such things. He's such a hype man, guys.
Yeah.
He is such a ball of positivity. You call yourself fat? He's like, you're not fat. You look great.
More cushion for the pushing. No, but apparently it gets a little weird over there.
Interesting.
So, I know. I'm like, dude, why did it took you this long to fucking tell me? Like, I could be like, I'm gonna go check out the back room, Bob. I'll be right back. But
I just found out there's a thing called rub maps. Didn't even know that was a thing. My wife had to tell me.
oh, were they like different locations for tuggies?
It's like a website that says like these are massage places that you can go get the happy endings.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, and she goes, yeah, like the place that you go to all the time is like on there. I was like, how do you know that? She's like, my friend was telling me about this map thing. He's like, and they're all like basically the places you go to. I'm like, nobody's ever offered me one. I just go there because the massages are good and they're cheap. She goes, yeah, probably because you're like a regular client. They don't probably offer it to you.
No, that's exactly who they'd offer it to. The regular clients, because they're like, this guy's not going to say shit.
Yeah, but it's never been offered to me. And then someone was like, any massage place. Like
Oh
that
my
is
God,
open.
it's real.
Yeah, I know.
It's rubmaps.ch for anyone who wants to see this.
Check it out.
I know.
Yeah, I might.
I guess I would always guess that you would search for that sort of shit, I guess, on Reddit or something. I don't know.
Nah, dude, it was always word of mouth.
That's
That-
well, right.
knew
Yeah.
Someone that went there was like,
Putting it on the internet is like asking for it to get shut down, I feel
I
like.
know,
So,
guys, the fuck you doing? Or
Oh.
get busted.
is there one by your house?
Yeah. And it's the one that my husband and I joke about all the time because it's like open till like 2 a.m. and has
Yep.
it's called the red light.
Oh, well, that's an obvious one.
Yeah, it is. But still, I'm still excited it's on here.
That's
So
up.
here's the best part. So like it gives you like 6 or 7 different parameters, like the masseuse's ethnicity. It tells you if they're like Asian, Russian, whatever.
Uh-huh.
If cards are accepted, if there's a sauna,
You do
if
not
there's a
pay with
jacuzzi,
cards ever at those places.
no. If there's a jacuzzi, if there is semi truck parking,
I saw that. The semi truck
obviously.
parking. The semi truck parking killed me.
I know that's the one, and then a 30-minute price and a 60-minute price.
I just feel bad for the semi truck people because they're definitely the ones searching for these things, right? Like for sure.
Oh,
mean,
but wait.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. So you look on this and they tell you which girl gave you the handsy, but then some people are on here saying if they didn't, like, I didn't get asked.
Right.
So like places could get listed maybe even if they aren't.
The one that
fucked up.
I went to back in the day, back home, that definitely,
Oh, yeah?
that definitely gave you the, what, 30, 40, 60, $100 special? Like you had to ask. Never asked me. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I mean, the massages were great, but you know.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Chippy Prippy. He sent me to one in Houston as a joke. He thought it was funny. I didn't know that it was a joke.
Sure, you didn't.
I threw my back out and he sent me to this like Thai massage place. And I got whispered sweet nothings in my ear. And then I couldn't hear because I fell asleep. And then they grabbed my nuts. I was like, oh, no, I'm good. Thanks.
Lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
No, it was not lucky.
So-
It was a terrifying way to wake up.
So this is crazy. Like most of the places near me have like 1 or 2 reviews, but there's one place with 400 reviews.
Oh, well, clearly
Top
they're just
tier.
great. Clearly they're great.
Well, clearly that's real then. Or they pissed
Right?
someone off really bad that wants to make it seem real. Oh, this is great.
Right? I feel like websites like that don't exist anymore. Like I feel like this is like the way of the Craigslist website.
Ah, Craigslist. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, or back pages, whatever they're called. Where all the sex workers go to die, sadly.
Classified.
Oh,
Casual
Yeah.
encounters. Craigslist.
What's
Anyway,
it called?
horror news.
It's so horror news. I got some horror news.
Or we could keep talking about tuggies and spas.
Tuggies and huggies. Here's my horror news because they go hand in hand. John Carpenter is on tour. It's his first
Saw
tour
that.
playing live since 2018.
Mhm.
He's going to be playing in New York at the Knockdown Center October 10th, and then he's doing a residency at the Belasco Theater in LA, October 24th, 25th, and 31st, and November 1st. So 4 shows. That's math. And
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, it's the first time he's been playing for a while. He's going to be joined by Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies, and they're going to be doing songs from the Thing, The Fog, you know, all the
All the hits. He's playing all the hits.
which is pretty cool. And it's a funny side story. The first live music I saw during the pandemic, or once the pandemic started, was at the drive-in in Warwick, New York. They were showing like 4 Halloween movies. And there was a live performance by Daniel Davies playing songs. I felt so bad for him. It was super COVID. It was like 2020 COVID or 2021, 2020, I think.
Right.
Halloween. And there was a snowstorm that year.
Oof.
And so we thought like the driving was perfect. Like, oh, we can sit outside our cars. We can go with people with masks on in the car. We'll sit out of the car and we'll watch the movies. And there'll be a live band performance, like synth party. It'll be sick. And it was 0 degrees outside.
Yep.
I felt so bad for this dude.
Dude.
People out here in California are always like freaked out when I tell them, like, yeah, sometimes on Halloween or in October, it's fucking cold.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'll be like 70 degrees. And then sometimes you'll have to sludge through snow to go trick or treat. Like it is what it's always been like that. I've never had like
that one was such a kick in the nuts too because of the pandemic. So it's just like fucking like I was like, oh cool, we could do this cool thing, and then literally we sat in the car for like 2 hours and we're like, yeah, let's drive home. It's like we're sweating in the car. It's getting foggy. But so anyway, John Carpenter is playing that, and then my second bit of news is that as of yesterday of this recording, John Carpenter and Bong Joon-ho have agreed to work together, which is pretty cool. They were doing I guess they were at like a 4K showing of The Thing, and they were on a panel together. And Bong Joon-ho kind of just threw it at him, was just like, "Oh, I'd love for you to like,
dude, I have a funny
score my next movie," and he was like, "I'll do it." Just shook his hand right in front of everybody. So, I mean, if that's not a yes, I don't know what is.
That's a yes.
Story to tell you about John Carpenter during that thing. So apparently, he is obviously trolling. So he gave some sort of like, well, there's a clue in.
Oh yeah, I just read this.
You can blah 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 blah. I've seen him personally. He did it at the last Jamboree. He said this. He says it on the like director's cut or one of the commentary tracks on The Thing that I have, that this was never a thing. Like they just wrote it as just like a typical generic cliffhanger. They never even discussed who was the Thing or if either of them were or whatever. And then people, it's fun and whatever for people to make things up, be like, oh my God. Yeah. And he's even said like, yeah, it's the fan theories. They're fun if people, that's what people want to think, and fine. But no, it was just, we just left it like that. It was just an ending. Nothing to it. But so now the internet's like, oh, well,
it's going wild.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. What? Like,
because he gave finality to the answer.
Well, because he probably gave a, if you wanted to think, you might want to go
like
back.
David Chase in The Sopranos for years.
Yeah, like for the last fucking 30 years, he's been saying no, it's not thing, whatever. And then now he's like, fuck, whatever. And he's such a troll and like a smart ass that of course he was like, oh well, I mean, I guess if you wanted to, there might be a hint. And everyone's like, oh God, Childs is a thing, McCready's a thing, oh God.
I can't wait actually to see what this movie's going to be, because Bong Joon-ho said it's going to be a horror movie, and I didn't see Mickey 17 yet, and I heard it was fine, but I love Parasite and I love Host, so he clearly can make a good horror movie.
Yeah, I did like both those.
We shall see.
That's my news.
All right. What do you got, Oobs?
Oobzilla. Some like small-ish stuff. The Bride is now being pushed back another year.
Good. I hope it gets pushed back.
I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but the Christian Bale looking like the new Joker, looking like the new Crow, the stupid tattoos everywhere. And it's crazy because...
Wait, you're talking about the new Bride of Frankenstein?
Yeah. And it's crazy because
I don't know if it's a good thing to be pushed back or not, though.
I know. Well, it's like we are that generation where like tattoos finally weren't just like, bikers, felons, and whatever. Like I think we were kind of, at least
he's a bad character.
E and I, and you coming out of that, Terry, we were in like the first kind of age where it got more like mainstream and normalized. And now there's this like whole other kind of like the tattoos Pete Davidson has that he's getting removed.
Yeah.
It's like this
junk
shitty
tattoos, face tattoos.
It's
all
the
this
SoundCloud rapper tattoos.
People getting hand
exactly.
tattoos without any
I
other
was gonna
tattoos.
say it's like the white boy rapper tattoo, like the shitty. And all of a sudden now these movies are emulating that, and I'm like, I don't think that's really what we want to see. I don't know. Maybe the younger people want to see that, but I don't know.
I don't think anybody's saying Jared Leto's their favorite Joker, but I could be wrong.
No, they aren't. And maybe. Which is crazy because like women love that guy. So you'd think that they would just be blinded by anything he does, and even them those women are.
He
Like,
definitely, he's definitely referenced in the movie we're going to review tonight.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he is. So there's that. Also, we've been talking a lot. Well, not because we have to, but because
We like talking about shit we hate.
Well, the dead don't die, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, people are just gonna keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So
represent Queen. She was raised out of Brooklyn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But but I quote a couple of things there, but yeah. Anyways, so Verve owns the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and basically a bunch of media this week approached them because they heard that there's a new one coming.
Why?
And well, Verve said, which is so them, no one has gained the rights yet, but there are so many applications they have to look through before they approve one. But this one that is rumored is an actor from Austin, Texas, and a star of Twisters.
Kevin Bacon.
Glenn Powell. Twisters.
Oh, right. He wasn't even in Twister, was he? Who was that?
Nobody was in both of them.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
he did start in Scream Queens, but I think it's kind of interesting. And given, I don't think it should be rebooted, but I'm curious as to what he would do with it.
Probably nothing good, because no one does anything good with a lot of these remakes. Unlike The Blob, 1988.
Well, so it's him, and it's J.T. Molnar, which is the guy who wrote and directed Strange Darling, which got a lot of
that was fun
kind of publicity when it came out. I didn't watch it, but I want to.
Oh, you'll like it.
Yeah, the previews I thought I would. But so anyways, it's kind of interesting. Well, one, because for things like this, I think they either need to be someone who's kind of unknown that just has like a completely different direction and maybe not a lot of budget and just makes it interesting. Or it needs to be someone who can get a lot of money that really cares about it and wants to do like a real continuation of it.
Right. So is this a sequel, or is it just a reboot of the thing?
They're not really saying. It's just something. All they said is that they want the rights to the cannibal family and that part of the story. So, I mean, it's super early on. Glenn Powell and the guy who wrote and directed Strange Darling.
Why?
I know, but I have to say, like, he's a good actor. He definitely has that, like, Texas boy. I'm curious. I'm curious about it just because I want to see if he's playing a bad guy or a good guy. Because he's been great in everything where he's been a good guy. And there was a movie I saw where he was a spy that was like slightly bad-ish. Like, I think it might be cool to see him turn like completely fucked up, crazy bad. But because he's cute, like lure people in with that, because it would kind of be a new, like if they kind of continue or reinvent the family a little bit. Like if it's not just a reboot or a sequel or a prequel or whatever and a continuation, I could see it being like real fucked up if they went that way. But they'll probably just regurgitate something that's already been done
in a horrible way. See, the thing with like remakes, God, we talk about this all the time. Especially a movie like that has like a certain quality because everyone was miserable on the fucking set. Like it was made with real pain and anguish and blood, sweat, and tears.
No money,
and a lot of probably illegal shit.
Well, that movie looks real.
Right.
The reason that movie is scary is because it looks like somebody's filming it.
Absolutely.
On like a handheld almost. Yeah.
So I mean,
without it being that.
When you try and make like a big budget remake of it, it's like the soul is missing because no one's actually, everyone has their fucking air conditioned trailer. I
am not opposed of things that exist within the world of, though. Like if it's something like that, I'm more interested in it because you can
Right.
create these kind of independent stories.
Right.
I get more mad when people just try to rewrite what was done or try to do it better, and they don't at all ever. Really, usually there's very few. Very few.
Like we'll see how the new Cujo is.
Yeah.
No, he won't. I won't watch it.
Yeah, the thing about the original Cujo is just like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It looked real.
Yeah, it looked
Like
fucking.
they're not
miserable.
gonna make something that looks real now. And the fact of the matter is like every car has like an OnStar. It had like people have fucking smartphones. I'm curious as to how like movies now with our technology, when they try to do that shit, it's always so dumb how they get rid of the technology. Like someone steps on their phone or like
I don't got a signal.
Flies through the window and breaks the screen on their fucking car. It's like
the only way I think they could do like a Cujo like that is like kind of how they did like It Follows. Like in It Follows, nobody had cell phones. There was no like technology.
Right.
So maybe if they establish that there's no technology in that universe, but and if they make it like a Chihuahua or something, that's way more terrifying than like a pit bull or whatever dog they're going to demonize in this movie.
If they make it a little dinklage.
Oh, dude, the dink is all over the news.
Dude, I know.
The dink.
He's pissed off about Snow White again. He's pissed off about, well, he's not pissed off, but
I just realized Go on.
Oh, I said I didn't even realize he wasn't in the fucking Toxic Avenger movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's in it, but he's just not Toxie when Toxie's Toxie. He's
going to be in it for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen a movie called I Care a Lot?
No, but I love the album and the song We Care a Lot from Faith No More.
It's a movie that came out a few years ago. It has Diane West in it, and she's actually great in it. The mom from Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically about like a woman who takes on old people like as their ward, and it's like
I thought you meant like takes them on like
no.
Gramps, we're fighting.
Like, because if old people can't take care of themselves and they don't have relatives, they can be turned over to the state and they get someone that takes care of them. But basically, this woman does it as a scam and like pays off doctors to say old people aren't fit and takes over. And Diane West is one of them. And it turns out she's like crazy Russian mafia, but Peter Dinklage is her son, but they don't know he's her son because obviously they're using fake names because they're mafia. And like the whole thing is about the Dink trying to like get her out of the old folks home. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so bad. We tried, like the preview looked good. It's on Netflix, but like it could have been so much better. And you just can't take him seriously because he's like this Russian mob boss. But I'm sorry. It's just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. He's not intimidating.
He's too, like, even when he was what's his nuts on Game of Thrones, like, you still don't take him seriously because he has that snarky kind of, like,
I mean, that's his best role.
Personality.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Like, anything he does, he's just an inherently funny dude when he acts because he can be, like, super snarky. So to try and play a Russian mob boss who's...
It comes off funny for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have an accent, which thank God. None of them did because they were like deep undercover, But it's just funny because I feel like he does well in roles where he plays himself, and he actually did this role really well. It just wasn't a great movie, but yeah, he was like pompous and arrogant, and then like naturally funny. But it was just if you're really bored one day, go ahead and watch it.
It could have been like John Wick, but with old people in the Dink. Exactly.
But instead, they just played it too safe. It was like a Lifetime movie.
Oh.
Like it could have been real violent, and it would have been appropriately done. Like you expected that level, and when you didn't get it, you were like
let down.
Because there was like lots of almost deaths. I Care a Lot.
When you said that, I was thinking it was part of the Pooh-verse and we were getting a Care Bear killer movie or something.
I could see the Dink.
No. Yeah.
Like Grumpy Bear.
Since we're getting Steamboat Willie, and then we're also getting Steamboat Willie versus Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
And we're getting Popeye.
That was released on the 18th, and yet I don't see it anywhere streaming. Like it disappeared after that. It was supposed to be released because I was going to buy it.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the dink from this I Care a Lot movie. That goatee is wild.
Yeah. He's got like a pinky ring.
Looks like a merkin.
It does. Yeah. I won't say it's not worth watching because it is, but I think
it's not.
I was just waiting for John Wick or something crazy. Like there's lots of like torture scenes and violent scenes that they like pull back way too safe. And you're like, that's not what this. No.
Too bad. Too bad. You got anything
And
else?
also, I don't like movies where they like victimize old people. I think it's fucked up. So
Right. Yeah. Understandable.
I don't like that either. I have my limits. My only other one is another little small one. You guys should be so happy because as of I think today, the new Mummy is underway. And guess who the main character is? The main character.
It's not Brendan Fraser. I don't give a.
It's got to be a Skarsgård, I'm sure.
Oh my God, I wish. No.
Which actually, dude, who was the older Skarsgård?
Alexander
Skarsgård would be a great Imhotep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
That mummy.
Right.
Okay.
But he looks like a mummy. He's a very chiseled face. He could be a good Frankenstein too, or Frankenstein's monster. He could be a good Karloff because he's got the face. Anyway. But
wait. Production is going on right now. They're in Ireland, which is interesting. So you remember? No, no, and I'm not saying main character like the mummy, like the main main character,
right?
The guy who some shit happens, and it is the fucking douchebag boyfriend from Midsummer who's in the bear costume.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. That's why this is going on horror news. I was like, him? He's like the poor man's Chris Pratt. And Chris Pratt is the poor man's Chris Pratt when he gains like 50 pounds.
Yeah. I don't understand what the fuck is going on with.
And they were like super psyched to announce that.
It's so weird. It's only in our genre. Like it doesn't happen in other things as much. Like it does. The remakes happen, but like the horror genre has such a better shot at original content than why even rehash?
Because there's no rules. There's fucking no rules. You could literally do whatever you want.
Well,
you do whatever you want. But they don't want to.
Before we die, there will be another Jaws. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
it's the only one that hasn't been touched yet.
But I mean, it's like not a lot of people are falling over themselves to remake fucking Casablanca or Gone with the Wind or like whatever
Schindler's
classic.
List.
Yeah, But Jesus Christ, in horror, they're like, hey, let's redo something. Let's remake something that was filmed 10 years ago. Like, but why? But that version was terrible. This version,
people
terrible.
will buy it.
Yeah,
but like, we'll go see other shit. We saw Opus. We see this other shit. Fucking, we saw 11 Saw movies or whatever.
Dude, I saw one Saw movie.
Oh, you're crazy, dude. Saw is a great franchise.
There's a handful of good ones.
They're killing it right now.
My hands are small.
They're replacing it with fucking The Strangers 2.
Yeah.
Another Stranger.
I saw that. But you know who does The Strangers, right?
Who?
Isn't that our Dark and the Wicked guy?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's the one who does The Strangers.
The original Strangers were good, but they remade it in this a movie that didn't need to be remade.
Right.
Oh, well, there's the prequel.
Yeah,
Strangers Pray at Night.
This is a sequel. This is Strangers. No, this is another Strangers.
Yeah, this is the sequel. I think this is the sequel to the first one, and the other one is the prequel.
It's already too confusing.
It is.
Because he was part of two of them.
Oh, maybe I'm confused then.
Maybe.
It's easy to be confused.
But maybe he produced one and didn't direct both.
No, last year, didn't a Strangers movie come out that was a remake of the first Strangers movie?
It was a prequel.
No, I think they sold it as that. But when the movie actually came out, it was literally just the same movie.
I don't know.
Oh, it's called The Strangers Chapter 1. And it was, I thought, how they became to be.
Right, but it was just basically they remade The Strangers, but they called it Chapter 1.
No,
Like,
because
that's-
it was a couple that's on vacation that it like meets these hicks, and then they like their car breaks down and they go in a cabin. It's like the same old story. But remember, Strangers was Liv Tyler like in her house.
Right.
Mom and dad are fighting.
I enjoy Strangers too. I don't need a chapter 2.
Yeah.
Don't need.
But I guess you're right. This is a sequel to that one, not the
not the
original one.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh well.
You
got any news?
I got one thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I just talked about how we don't need another Cujo.
Mm-hmm. We don't need another Cujo.
We don't need another sloppy dog. Big freaking rat. This creature feature that's going to drop in April on video on demand. I watched the trailer. I mean, it looks silly, but it looks like it could be fun-ish or whatever.
It looks more fun than the Death of a Unicorn movie.
Yes, but so here's the little synopsis. Years of dumping toxic waste into the land have created a monstrous rodent with a taste for blood, and now it's up to a reluctant band of warriors to exterminate the beast.
I know I'm going to be out of line here because we have another Toxic Avenger coming out, but we really haven't had a lot of dumping toxic waste movies in a while. I feel like it was a prime genre in the 80s.
And
like when you watch an 80s movie, there's toxic waste in every movie.
Yeah.
There's smoke and barrels of purple or green shit.
The
But we
EPA
haven't
just
had that in
lies
a while.
about it. Yeah, the EPA just lies about it now. It's still going on, and we should get more. And I'm all about a creature feature, April 29th.
Fuck yeah.
But I mean, it looks like it definitely has a 8-legged freaks type vibe. So it's a little more silly, which is still fun, I guess. But I would love like an actual creature feature, like a horror movie, like a big monster rat that's fucking everything up, not something that's silly. Because that's
I like the poster of it with the helicopters, though.
Right. I feel like
so cool.
I didn't see that. Oh, you just held it up. Yeah. That's great.
I feel like when people do these creature features and these monster movies, they try to do them with the same kind of like shticky vibe that they made them in the 50s, in the 60s, which doesn't translate to now times because they play it as it's silly. Whereas back then, like, it wasn't silly. People were like, oh my God, what the fuck is this giant ant or this giant tarantula just walking through the thing? Like, it was actually supposed to be a monster movie. So trying to make that in today's time, it loses the allure of it being a horror movie, and it just comes off silly, and they play into that, and it's a bummer because, then you get stuff like Godzilla, which is great. So it can be done if you come at it as, hey, we're going to make this like serious. I mean, I know they try to with a lot of the science fiction movies and stuff, but when it's a movie that's going to have a lot of gore, it gets real schlocky and like.
Well, they also don't really like sell it to us as like a monster movie. Then, right? Like I feel like it gets sold as something else,
dude. And these previews, like these trailers, show way too much, and it's not pulpy.
I hate that.
It's not pulpy enough. It's just scenes from the movie instead of like.
We were just talking about that when we saw Opus. We were talking about that movie, The Sinners, with Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
How that first trailer was really good, and now by the newest trailer, I was like, oh, it's like Abigail all over again.
Right, and you're just showing
like it's going to be a fine movie, but you just ruined the fucking surprise.
Yeah, so that bums me out. But I'm going to check it out. Who knows? Maybe it'll surprise me. Because, granted, the effects on 8-legged freaks, like the CGI, wasn't great. But as a movie, I thought it was pretty fun.
Did you guys see anything about this movie called Ash?
I've heard about it, but I haven't read
it's on like I saw it like on a 10 most like anticipated horror list. Like, but then I saw it, but then it's in the theaters right now, and I don't know anybody talking about it.
That's how I found out about it. I never saw a preview. I never fucking heard about it. It has like Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad in it, right?
Yeah.
And
it's like a space horror.
And yeah, I was just looking through movies to see if there was something we wanted to see, and that was the first one listed with the most showings in my area. And I was
Interesting.
like, "What the
Most
fuck
showings.
is this?" Yeah, for last Friday, I think. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked at it and I'm like, "How have I not heard a word about this?"
No, it was on a list. It's a number one on a list of like South by Southwest horror movies.
Oh, and it has Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it too.
Shut up.
Oh, weird.
Mhm.
It must really suck if they're not pushing it with those actors in it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Genre classics like Alien, The Thing, and Event Horizon. And heavily inspired by Dead Space, the video game. What?
Really? And
Yeah.
I haven't heard like a word of it on.
It's playing at one theater by me.
Yeah. Like media, aside from a random website, like horror website mentioning it, but I haven't seen anything about it.
They must have no budget.
Maybe
has
it's
a
good.
For, like, marketing.
79 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty
How
good.
much?
79.
That's really good
Mm-hmm.
for a movie that no one's talking about.
that
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
I wonder if maybe I'll go see it. I was going to see Princess Mononoke this week in IMAX.
Yeah.
I don't
Might
know.
have to check it out.
There's
maybe
a lot. There's a
Maybe it's a $2 or a $5 Tuesday movie.
I want to go see The Woman in the Yard.
oh nope, not me. Fuck that. I was
Very scary.
shaking. I was shaking in my shoes at the movie theaters for that trailer.
So I think that trailer was on mine because there was one, and I don't remember what it was, but it made me jump out of my seat. And Christian was like, "Man, we haven't even started the movie, and you're jumping out of your seat." And I feel like it was probably that one.
Me and E and his lady had maybe met for about 4 minutes before I said, "I'm a wimp." Like I said, I literally I looked at them and go, "I'm a wimp. This movie looks terrifying. This is the type of movie that I avoid at all costs." I'll watch it because it's got that good, like, kind of Twilight Zone-y kind of vibe. But
Yeah.
then when I saw that it was PG-13 afterwards, I'm a little less scared.
I don't know though. Some of the scariest shit I've ever seen is PG-13.
Yeah, but like
the
40
shit that
years
scares
ago.
me.
Right. Yeah.
Some of it, even
What-
some of the new ones. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think. I
Like,
get
that movie
scared
doesn't
when it's
scare.
when it's ghost stuff and poltergeist stuff. Like I'm fucking big time wuss. Like I
Me
am.
too, but I don't consider like I get scared of that, but it's more because like I'm easily startled. I'm not really scared. It's just dark and loud out of nowhere. It's just startling because it's jump scares.
Oh, well, that scares me, and also that like I feel like I see ghosts all the time, and there's like shit in my room, so that stuff just scares me.
Oh yeah, my house is fucking haunted as hell. But
So like after I see a movie like that, I feel like it brings more of that feeling to me.
nah, I just talk to the ghosts in my house. I just say, "What's up, guys?" And you're here first. We're gonna move out in a couple of years, so just we'll be out of your hair soon.
You're like Mr. Marbles?
Oh yeah, I'm more of the like wake up at like 3:13 a.m. every night, and like something's like staring at me in the corner.
Speaking of that time, but 3:15. So the remake of the Amityville Horror has been on Pluto.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Like I remember seeing it in the theater and thinking it wasn't that bad.
Mhm.
But it's so like Ryan Reynolds
Oh, it's so bad.
is so
And
bad.
his like shirtless axe scenes and like sweating and just like, ugh. It's just like that is the scariest part of that movie. Is just
My favorite part
he's just gross.
in it though is after some shit happens when the daughter was like up on the roof and they get her back in, and then he switches back to being all like possessed and weird. Like he comes around the corner and the mom is, consoling her and she's like, "I miss daddy," and whatever. And he's just looking at him and he's like, "What is wrong with you people?" Just like this utter, just like disgust.
He's such
of
a
this-
dick.
of this other family, this other man's kids and his wife. He's just like, ugh, the fuck is wrong with you people?
It's tough when they put like somebody like that in a role like that. It's like when putting Vince Vaughn in Psycho.
Right. Dude, that was so
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
So bad.
True.
But anyway, yeah, that's all I got for horror news. Anyone else before we get out of here?
No.
Nope. All right. Well, that's been Free Handies. Opus.
So, should we talk about Opus?
Yes, let's talk about Opus. Here's the summary. A writer travels to the compound of a pop icon who disappeared years ago. Surrounded by his cult of sycophants, as well as a group of fellow journalists, she soon discovers his twisted plans for the gathering. So,
Yeah.
yeah. This is a very John Malkovich movie. I said this earlier when we were talking about it the other day.
I feel like I have a whole other synopsis for this.
Go for it.
Go, you do it. Lay it on us.
Go for it. Yobes, go for it.
Hey guys, let's make a new A24 movie. Let's take Midsummer and then find a really awesome character actor to play this like eccentric musician, but let's like combine him with Jeremiah Sand from Mandy, a little bit of Longlegs, and let's like throw in some Elton John and a little Jared Leto. And then let's get a whole bunch of either like up and coming or awesome actors and typecast them as much as we fucking can and be real mediocre about it.
Ouch. Scathing.
We're going to make so much money.
Scathing summary.
I don't know how you could give like Juliette Lewis such a Juliette Lewis role, like give John Malkovich such a John Malkovich role, and like this movie isn't bad, but it's like so mediocre.
Right. And it's funny you say that too about the typecasting, because even Io Edebri, I can never say her name correctly, but the main actress, the girl from The Bear, she's typecasted into that role also. Like that is the character she plays, like in
everybody is
things now. Yeah,
they literally were just like, okay, we're gonna get good actors, and like what character are they good at, and we're just gonna like write this character for them without thinking that like they could have done like even Murray Bartlett, like his dickbag character, like that's what he does good at. It's like, which makes sense because you want to hire people and make them do what they're good at. But that's the craziest part is they put all these actors in roles that they should be and are good at in this movie. Yet they weren't like creative enough to make this movie fucking bonkers and awesome.
Well, okay, so wait.
It got close.
I'll push back on you a little bit. So the guy who wrote it, Mark Anthony, he's also the director. It's his first movie, and he comes from and
he was married to J-Lo.
He comes from like a music world, right?
Okay.
So the first hour of this movie, I think he fucking nails, and I think all like the music industry satire, he nails that also, and even kind of the ending, whether it's satisfying or not, doesn't matter. He kind of nails what he's going for when it comes to like the commentary on the music industry and celebrity cult status, right?
Right.
Sure.
I think because when discussing this movie afterwards, I really enjoyed talking about this movie and how it was presented to us. However, it kind of falls flat in the horror aspect of it and the goriness, and I don't know.
I thought it was gory, and I
don't think it knew what type of movie it was after a bit. Like I think it like lost its way. I think it wanted to be a cult movie and it wanted to be a horror movie. It wanted to be quirky and silly, but it was trying to do all too much, and it was a lot to take on for a first time director. And I kind of, what we wind up getting is a fine movie. It wasn't great and it wasn't terrible. Right. It definitely was like, that's long in the tooth and had some fun things. But
I mean, there's parts I love for sure. Yeah,
there's
the puppet show. Great,
awesome.
I wonder if this could have played out better as like a 4-episode thing.
Probably,
like instead of just a movie,
or like a limited series. Yeah,
like 4 episodes of like the cult of a celebrity. I think it would probably flow a little bit better having the space in between, because it was long. It felt like a 4-hour movie.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the things I liked about it were, I mean, it was interesting. Like I liked the character. John Malkovich was great, just because
he was phenomenal.
John Malkovich is John Malkovich. So like anything he does is going to be weird and interesting. So it was like interesting. Yeah. It was entertaining enough. It was funny. Like there were funny moments, but like we all have just discussed, it like fell flat. At least for me, I think it could have been so much more weird.
Oh my God, the runtime is
crazy.
only an hour 44.
No, that's what I mean. The runtime's not that much. Like the runtime I didn't have a problem with, but it definitely felt longer. But yeah, this is the thing that I feel like I'm complaining too much about is the potential.
Right.
And like a movie like this with that fucking cast, like it could have gotten fucking weird.
Well, it was like there was so much setup.
Real weird.
And then like as soon as things start getting weird, you're like, oh, because it already feels long. You're like, oh my God, there's going to be another 40 minutes of just all this kind of weird shit happening, like constantly. And then we're going to get the big end and crescendo and everything. But it's like a whole bunch of lead up. Some weird stuff happens. And then it ends all within the last 25 minutes. But all the weird shit happened within 15 minutes. And it wasn't like a lot of it.
Yeah, once the one guy gets shot in the chest, then it's like pretty quick to like, everybody starts falling. Yeah, then they do the listening. Everything starts falling quick after that. But like, I have to say, like, I really think they could have gone zany. Like, they should have made the celebrities way weirder. When she walked in, they should have been having some fucking orgy or something. Like, they should have gone way sillier and crazier with it. And it still would have honestly also been somewhat realistic to probably what the shit that goes on.
Diddy party. Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
But they just like, they kept it so safe. And then the silly things was, the only silly part was the puppet show. And like, I wanted more of that. Like with the girl with the allergic reaction and just like fucking like exploding and you touch her and shit is squirting out. Like that was so cool. Why was that the only time they really pushed those boundaries?
Don't eat shellfish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Was the couch or was it a beanbag chair?
Beanbag chair.
Yeah. Like there were some cool moments there. Like I think it could have helped with having like, another writer with him.
It could have gotten way more dark too as soon as everything started getting weird and a little bit creepy and violent. It could have.
Well, and he has actors. Yeah, he has actors that would have been on board, like Juliette Lewis, like Natural Born Killers, even her in Yellow Jackets now. Like that woman, you could tell her to do fucking anything, and she'd be like, "Cool."
She was misused. They didn't give her. Enough.
Like she would have gone as crazy as they wanted her to, and yet she was like one of the most tame people in the film. And I'm like, how can you make Juliette Lewis like the most tame person? And especially because she was this crazy kind of talk show host, right?
Right.
Sex symbol,
right?
Like wild, celebrity.
You could have fucking run with that and had so much fun with it. Like that's what bummed me out. And like the oyster yurt, I mean, okay,
yeah, that was whatever.
Well, me and Gucci T were talking about it. The grossest thing in that whole movie was when they're eating the bread and it gets down to like the bread
the last
ball.
person.
Oh yeah,
just soggy.
That was the grossest part of the movie.
Blech.
And I think my favorite part of the movie though was the listening party. Like I thought that was great.
Yeah.
So they had to get an intimacy coordinator just for that scene.
What?
For his dancing. Yeah.
It was so good. I thought they could have creeped it out more though. They had all the cult people watching them. And it just didn't it never I never got the
It was safe. It was too safe.
I never. We were talking about just earlier in regards to other movies about being scared, and even when I see like a movie that I know I'm not going to be scared of, like a gory movie or like something like that I just at Bloodfest, like or something like perfect example, like a Terrifier. I'm never scared watching Terrifier. I'm just there for the fun, right? So, but like a movie like this needs a little bit of edge of your seat, and never once was I like, oh, like remotely move the needle of excitement. I was at 5 the whole time, and like I was enjoying the movie, but nothing ever.
Especially with John Malkovich, he could play such a good deviant, evil character.
Weirdo.
And then it just, I mean, it was fun. Like he was fun. His character was fun. Yeah. But he could have went way more dark Hannibal Lecter at the end. Or throughout. I mean,
with a little bit more work, we could have been talking about probably the best movie of the year.
That's the part that makes me sad. Is like this is bombing at the box office. This is like the worst A24 movie or movie at all that's come out to a major theater. It has the actors to do it. Honestly, the story premise to be big.
Mhm.
If they would have been smart with it, I do think it could have blown up. It could have blown up. The fact that Longlegs got so much fucking attention and this gets shit, and then movies like The Substance that are like gore crazy or like this body horror, like mainstream starting to like that stuff. They could have stepped out of the box like way more.
Well, yeah,
And
but
people would've liked
this goes back to Ash. We just talked about Ash.
Yeah.
We are you guys are the only other people I know who heard of Opus until I mentioned it to my friends. My friend's like, "What movie are you talking about?" I'm like, "I didn't know about it until Oob said it on the podcast last month. You mentioned it on the podcast." I was like, "What movie?" You're like, "So and so." Da da da. And then like I saw a single trailer, and I was like, "I'm in." I think you just told me what it was about. I was like, "You're like A24 cult movie with John Malkovich." I was like, yeah, I'm in." And then that was it.
I couldn't believe it was showing at my theater. Like, and when I did, I was like, "Yeah, let's go."
It doesn't cost a lot of money to run internet ads like Instagram and Facebook, and all these horror websites. They're not that expensive to tag your name onto. So I don't know why there's not any advertising for these things.
Especially
this natural buzz thing is not going to happen.
Especially with A24, like X, they pushed out there. Talk to Me, they pushed out there. Like they've had so many movies they've been pushing right in people's faces.
I think they
Dream Scenario. But like this one, they're like, there's big stars. Who cares? We're just gonna put it out.
I think they might fall into the category of just releasing too much stuff now. So like they have their own release schedule, and they were like, "Oh, this one's getting buzz." It was a Sundance movie, right? So like this one's getting buzz. Like we should probably just push it out now because we have all these other fucking movies coming out in the next year. Like they have such a aggressive release schedule. I like A24. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I think because of that, this movie probably suffered because of all the other movies they have coming out. So,
but you didn't even see people doing any sort of interviews about it. That you didn't see anything like that. Which is crazy for big stars like who are in it to do nothing. Yeah. Like I didn't see any promotion or anything from them.
Maybe they all thought it was going to suck.
My social feed is full of interviews for Death of a Unicorn.
Right. Tons.
It's full of it. And I haven't seen one Opus interview with anyone.
That's so wild.
And I've seen like really obscure horror movie like press interviews. Like my algorithm is full of shitty small horror movie stuff. Opus, nothing at all.
I think
I have a horror and a music algorithm. So the fact that neither of those tap that is crazy.
I bet you it's because its identity is unknown. It wasn't really a horror movie, and it wasn't really a comedy.
But Midsummer wasn't really a horror movie either.
I mean, it is though.
I think that they're both, honestly, those two to me are equally horrific.
I don't know. When those two old people jump off the rock, it's pretty fun.
I mean, yeah, that's one part though.
Sure.
But it's
everything
a major
else
part.
Was meh. Like I
the
knew
girl
exactly.
crawling out of a fucking beanbag with her eyes puffing out, and then they start murdering people in that room, stabbing them repeatedly. That's being stuck on an island. That's horror.
I guess so.
Ripping Juliette Lewis's wig off.
It is.
It is. It is.
It just could have definitely been more horror.
It's also like the ending is unsatisfying, right? We find out that like the escape was basically like, planned. Her escape.
But you had to have known that. Like it was too obvious when the woman's like, run, go to the right, go to the left, head to the light. And I'm like, yeah, fucking right. She's betraying John Malkovich. This is just to get the story out.
Can we talk about that part? Me and Terry talked about it. I was so annoyed.
His cape wasn't burned afterwards. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was burned. And then you see him playing the piano when the cops show up and the cape is back and it's not burned.
Fine. It was fine.
I didn't catch that.
He might have had a backup cape, though. He's that kind of guy,
My biggest gripe, and I know it's a movie and you got to suspend disbelief, but when things are set in a reality that is fairly equal to ours.
Yeah.
So the main character, Ao, is that her name? Yeah. So she's this total like city kid, seemingly, is what you're led to believe. First of all, I hated her wardrobe.
Oh, I thought it was cute.
I mean, it was, but it made her look so out of place. Like she looked like she was in the 70s. And
they tried to give it like that rock star vibe. Like she's the girl from Rockstar. Was it Rockstar? Where she's like the journalist, the young journalist vibe. Yeah.
But so she escapes and that chick is telling her, do all this stuff. She gets on an ATV and just goes.
Mm-hmm.
He was so mad about
I was
this.
so mad. Like, if anyone's ever ridden one of those things, first of all, you definitely have to like.
You must have had a problem one time, right?
No, but you have
Sure.
to. You have to learn. You have to know how to lean. And she was just
I get.
hauling ass.
Do you know how many movies people are handed fucking rifles?
I had
Dude,
this
and
argument
that's
with
also
him.
annoying.
I had
It's also
this argument, Oobs, with him in the car. I said, how
An
many movies have
AR?
we seen where not even an AR? How many movies have we seen where somebody gets on a motorcycle and they've never ridden one?
Yeah, and
That's
they
not like a
just
thing you
go.
just jump on. You got to use a
No.
clutch. There's like some mechanics involved.
Yeah.
Dude, but the same thing, like the AR-15, people are like, oh yeah, you just grab one and you kill a bunch of kids. No. Someone has
Exactly,
to teach you
and
how
it's
to use a fucking
so annoying,
AR-15.
and that's equally as annoying.
Because it is actually not easy to load. It's not easy to
No.
get ready to shoot. Like, you have to know what you're doing or
There's-
be like
yeah,
really
there's slides
just like
you got to pull.
shit luck.
There's things you have to know how to do. But
Yeah.
granted, even if you can figure out how to just start something right away, those things are so easy to flip because when you're turning and
Oh, yeah.
hauling ass going
Yeah,
around
they are.
corners. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there's absolutely zero way you're not rolling that thing if this is the first time you've been on one. Zero.
Oh yeah, we all know somebody
Yeah.
in the Northeast who definitely crashed one. Like,
dude.
right?
Right.
Everybody from somebody has. Somebody
It's
in
like the
school
same
with them.
as it's the same as like jet skis. You look
Right.
at them and you're like, they look totally stable, and then you get on one and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah.
Flip it right
I'm
over.
gonna die. Yeah,
There's no way. But aside from that, it was, it was just, I just have such a
I
problem
didn't think
with
we were gonna get a chaps my ass section.
movies
here.
that are
Mhm.
rooted in reality. But then there's the one thing where we talk
moral
about
of the story, kids:
yeah,
test drive an ATV, jump on a fucking motorcycle, get on a jet ski whenever you can, and have somebody who has an AR show you how to load it and
Exactly.
shoot it properly. Otherwise, you're not going to survive shit.
I'm never gonna look at ATVs like the same way again. Every time I see them in a movie, I'm just gonna
Think of
think of
me.
E flipping out.
but we talk about it all the time where it's like the seemingly normal wimp of a person all of a sudden.
They're not that easy to flip. I mean, they're easy.
They're
They're
super
not.
easy to flip.
They're
If you're going that fast and turning like that,
okay.
they are
Turning like that, yeah.
Yeah, extremely
Sure.
easy to flip. But we talk about it all the time where it's, oh, you're the pussy of the group, and all of a sudden you're Rambo out of nowhere and doing
Mhm.
all this shit. You're like, that wouldn't happen. Like,
It should
might
be more
try,
like that
but you
scene.
die.
It should be more like that scene in Y2K. Where it's like, watch this shit.
yeah,
On the
exactly. yeah, exactly. So that was the biggest.
Oh, that was like after Terminator 2 came out and everyone saw Linda Hamilton do the like shotgun with one arm thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I was like, try to do it with two hands your first time.
Yeah, good
It's
luck.
not easy with two either. I was like, that's a fucking beast of a gun.
But
Yeah.
even a movie
is
like
not
that,
real.
as an action movie,
Sure.
nothing's
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
But
I
this-
know, but it's
yeah.
still.
It's so
Especially 90s
ridiculous.
action movies.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
80s action movies.
Oh,
They
yeah. True
were
lies.
jumping fucking
Oh, yeah.
jet skis into whatever, jumping off, pulling a pin on a grenade, throwing it, rolling. It was amazing. Coming out with no scratches. Hey, but yeah. I don't
You are right. In the 80s, there were lots of jet skis available in action movies.
dude,
So many.
so
And nobody even got wet. No one even got wet.
You couldn't get wet. You're flying through fire.
Right. No, the first time I got on a jet ski, I was like, this is not at all what I thought it would feel like. And I need to start going right now or I'm going to fall over. And how do
Right.
people toast on these? Because it seems impossible.
Yeah. I was a little bit disappointed. It was fun. The movie was entertaining enough. Like, I didn't feel like I got like gypped out of money or anything like that. But I did want more because there was so much left on the table to give, especially with the horror aspect.
my
Like,
problem.
you could have gotten so weird and dark and still kept it comedic, but they just didn't.
Yeah, as we've been talking, I just because I haven't known, because nobody's talking about this movie, I went to go look to see what other people are saying about it. And it looks like it's pretty much what we're saying. Kind of like disappointed, and it's fine, it's whatever. Which is, I thought maybe we'd be different because we're musicians, and in that world, I thought maybe we'd give it a little bit more grace. I think we're definitely maybe enjoy. I think three of us might enjoy it more than the average person. just because of the music industry stuff.
I mean, I thought that aspect of it was hilarious. John Malkovich's character.
I laughed
great.
a lot. I was laughing.
It was funny.
I was
It was
laughing
enjoyable. It's just when you really get down to, critiquing it, there's
right.
so
You know what
much-
it is? It's just not satisfying as a whole.
It was also predictable, other than the puppet part, which actually showed some creativity. If that amount of creativity in that scene would have been shown to the rest of the movie,
Yeah.
a lot better.
And I liked. First of all, I didn't know that Buster was in it. It took me a minute to realize
Oh yeah,
that Tony Hale. I was like,
so briefly.
I was like, oh, that's Buster. Awesome, which was great. His little right hand man, Peter DeSith, George. I thought he was funny.
He was.
But yeah, aside from that, there wasn't too many other characters that I liked aside from Juliette Lewis, which could have been such a bonkers character.
Yeah.
George.
The school teacher, the music teacher.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But his just little bits of rage that would come out, or just disgust, I thought were hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. But
I got nothing else to say.
No, I mean, it was fine. It was a fine movie.
Yeah.
What, how many candy corns are we giving it? Gucci T.
1.75 candy corns.
Really?
It was fine.
Okay. Jeez.
Well, what do you with the 3? I don't think it deserves.
I
3.
know.
No.
We're killing your spirit, buddy. You're the
Me?
hopeful dreamer of the group.
I know.
Not anymore.
I used
zero.
I used to be until he just like fucking crushed that.
I'm a hard realist now, and we had a really positive episode last week. So
Yeah,
that's true.
Gonna bring us back. For last week was the most positive episode I think I've ever been on with us. So I would have to say that
we did
this week. We're gonna bring us back down to the cold reality of 2025, and I think it gets that grade because, like I said, this could have been we could have been talking about a 5 candy corn movie of the year if a little TLC was put into it, and I don't if a little editing and maybe a little bit of rewriting and reshooting.
Yeah,
but
I mean they had the cast and the budget for it.
1.75. Well, they spent 10 million, that's for sure, and they made back $1 million.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think as of today they've made back 2 million from international and domestic, which is it's awful.
It's not making Snow White money, but it's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snow White's only done 40 million.
Snow White will be fine. All right. It'll be fine.
You're up, Oobs.
Am I going? Okay.
Yeah.
If I could rate the actors on the job they did with what they were given, if this would be like a 3.5 candy corn, maybe more. But this movie is a 1.5 candy corn, and I rest my case.
Jeez. Okay. Man, I'm the highest out of everybody tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you rating it as a comedy? If it's a comedy, I'll give it a 2.5.
I'm just rating it as,
Are you just like
enjoying what I watched? And
I think I rubbed off on him a little too much.
I gave it a 2 candy corn. 2 candy corns.
What?
What?
Yeah.
You have given way better movies less. Way better movies.
I'm pretty sure you gave the substance less.
Yeah, I did. I didn't really enjoy the substance that much. No, I just thought it was a fine movie. Like there was definitely more left on the table for it. It's a movie I'll never watch again.
No, I never watch this again.
Again,
no need.
As far as like a horror movie, like I think this was just a dark comedy and not necessarily a horror movie. It could have been a way better horror movie if they went for it, but they didn't. So it was whatever. I had enjoyed watching it. I laughed. I thought things were interesting, but aside from that, it was like all the actors did a good job. Like there was nothing bad about it necessarily. So, there's definitely movies that I would rate less, but liked more for whatever reason. But this, everything was fine.
Like that seems dumb, but okay.
Yeah.
There's movies I like less but would rate more.
Well, there's movies that there's
that
movies,
makes sense.
There's movies
you could
I
appreciate
rated,
it, but you might not like it.
I rated less, but I liked more as far as because just a shitty production or shitty acting.
That's what I
like
mean.
this part. Yeah.
Seems dumb.
No, that seems right. Terry knows what I'm talking about.
You can't knock a man's opinion, I suppose.
But yeah, it was just fun.
No, I can just call it seemingly dumb.
I'm not saying I disagree.
Yeah. But anyway, 2. So that averages out to a 1.75 candy corn score, everybody. I definitely
it does feel kind of low, but
I think there's an audience.
A 2 would feel a little high.
I think there's an
2 would
audience
feel
for
high.
it.
I honestly think that I'm sad that more people haven't seen it. I do think more people should have seen it. I'm sad the box office is so low because this is better than movies that have sold more tickets.
I think you have to tell people that it's out. to see it.
That happens a lot lately. They just show up.
There's a movie. Yeah.
It's like they just forgot to tell everybody that they were putting in a movie.
Well, like we talked about another time, is these certain movies get certain contracts with certain theaters that they can only show. And if that type of theater isn't near you, you're just shit out of luck until it hits on demand, which, I mean, I guess that might be good if the contract is worth a lot, but otherwise you're kind of cutting down your budget, considering there's not always an AMC near somebody, or there's not always a Cinemark. Like if you have a neighborhood theater that isn't able to get certain movies because they're going to whoever, then you...
Yeah, but mine is a tiny place and it got it. I don't know.
This movie was playing at one theater by me.
I wonder if they had to spend too much on the actors and they didn't have the press budget they should have.
It's a possibility.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But then, you could have the same argument that there's movies like Terrifier, which have zero advertising, right?
But people pick those up, right? Because they're so extreme. But on paper, John Malkovich playing an Elton John-like cult leader should just sell tickets.
I think if you throw one Super Bowl commercial, which sounds like a lot of money.
Sure.
Yeah. Or just one commercial in general. I didn't see anything on TV about this movie. So. Yeah.
Or it is a preview for other movies.
Yeah.
Why didn't they put it as a preview to the previous A24 movies?
Didn't see that either.
That blew up.
And we've all definitely have seen enough movies, like newer movies, within the last month or two that you would think
it would be on there.
Yeah, but nope.
Well, if anybody's looking for a palate cleanser to this, if it was that bad in your mouth, Popeye the Slayer Man is available to rent or buy on Fandango.
Oh, okay.
For $5.99 to rent or $12.99 to buy, if you really need to buy it.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, what's our next movie?
Oh, right.
It's E's turn.
It's my turn. And this is a movie that should have been done a long, long time ago, considering the only Universal movies we've done are the shitty Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man remake, and then we did what was the last one we did?
Nosferatu?
Abbott and Costello. Well, that doesn't count.
We did Elvis Costello, the Frankenstein.
Right. My pick is the 1931 classic, Universal Pictures classic, Frankenstein.
Nice.
Which I've never seen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not front to back.
Right. You were in.
I've definitely probably seen the entirety of it in pieces, but I don't.
Yeah.
Because the one time my brothers and I were watching it, we got like halfway through, and my dad was taking us somewhere, so we had to stop. So like, I've never actually watched it like.
Right. Start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it available to watch?
Probably anywhere.
Beyond.
I think probably most places.
The library will have it.
I'm sure Prime will have it, or the library.
Well, now that we're talking about it, has anybody met anybody who's ridden the ride?
No.
The new Universal Monster ride, the Frankenstein ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the Monsters Unleashed?
Yeah, the ride. Yeah.
Yeah. I have seen a video of it that was not supposed to be taken.
Exclusive.
And it looks crazy. The animatronics really are.
I saw the animatronic.
Shit I've never seen.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in the actual ride, it's
No,
like,
I only saw that teaser that was going around for a while.
yeah, it's crazy. It looks awesome. It looks super, super.
Damn,
super
I hope it does
awesome.
well. I feel like it's a very specific park. I really hope people.
It
go to
is, but like with Disney doing Villains Land too, I think there's a market for it. I mean, even just last week, the newest lounge Disney's opening is now 21 and up. I think these parks are going to start marketing things to adults. Universal's opening that Texas park that's all for like younger kids. I think you're going to start seeing kind of like not a division, but you're going to see more adult
Good.
focused things in them, which is
Whatever keeps
a good
the
idea.
classics. Yeah.
Because like our generation and, you know, some of the ones that are a little younger than us are the types that need to get out of like their regular life a little bit and like have these sorts of things. So I think there'll be a lot of money spent in those parks because it's either people doing the rat race that need a break to be out of that, or just people who are naturally whimsical like us.
Yeah. Well, good.
Or both.
Or both.
1931.
Yep.
Good year.
Good.
Good year.
I'm just happy that these movies are still around to be able to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones from the 20s, all the silent films and stuff like that. And it seems, I just wish that all these fucking remakes did a little more to pay homage to the originals, to usher in the next generation of, classic monster fans.
What's funny is the animated stuff does more than the the movies.
Yeah. I mean, their icons, you're always going to see the images. So it's like Elvis. Like it's always out there in whatever respect. Like you'll see it.
Yeah.
But, that's a lot of people. That's all it is, that's just an image or that's a thing that existed a long time ago. But yeah. So Frankenstein, 1931, baby.
Yeah. In the Epic Universe too, they have the windmill. And that's one of the restaurants. I may actually try to pop over there for Fest.
You should.
I'm going to do Disney, but I might do a one-day Epic and just pay for the express pass so you can walk on everything.
Do it.
Unrelated. This Novocaine movie is getting great reviews.
I saw that. I can't believe it.
See anything with that dude, with that kid in there.
Jack Quaid always plays the same character. He's the same character
fresh.
In a companion. He's the same person as the boys.
Yeah.
86% fans like. Wow,
oh, it's up. It's up. Yeah.
A complete shit bag.
What's the one with Jason Statham where he's on like Crank?
Crank.
Right. For some reason, I feel like this movie is going to be like that.
Crank.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. Just
like
insane.
fast moving, just insane, which does scratch a certain itch. So
for sure, I just can't stand him. Like in Companion, he just irks me.
But because, I feel like they put him in his place in every movie he's in. Even the boys, they constantly put him in his place,
which is satisfying a little bit. But I would just rather not look.
Why
at his
is he a douche in real life, like his dad?
He's better than Topher Grace or whatever the fuck. That fucking guy.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he's a nice dude, but his characters are always complete scumbags.
Twats.
That try and come off as nice guys, but they're always doing shit that is completely like narcissistic and self-serving and scumbaggy. And they just feign,
While also being like total fucking dorks, and not the good kind of dork, like the bad kind of dork.
Right. So every character just bugs me with him playing it. But anywho, anything else to add before we get out of here, guys?
I don't think so.
All right, you little fucks. Check in next time for Frank.
Yeah, assholes.
Yeah, you little piece of shit dicks.
Butt plugs. Suckers.
Yeah, you jerks.
Yeah, jerk face.
Jerk.
Dumbhead.
Jag offs.
Give me some sugar.
Anyway, all right, dudes, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
looks that big old Storm right square in the eye and he says, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Your move, creep.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.